U.S. President Donald Trump landed on May 13, 2025, kicking off a high-stakes Gulf tour. Greeted by Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Trump's visit is less about regional security crises like Gaza's war or Iran's nuclear ambitions and more about clinching trillion-dollar deals. Why is Trump prioritizing Saudi Arabia, and what does this mean for the Middle East and U.S. priorities? Let's unpack this pivotal moment. Trump's four-day swing through Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates marks his first major international trip of his second term, following a visit to Rome for Pope Francis' funeral. Stepping off Air Force One at Riyadh's King Khalid International Airport, Trump punched the air in solidarity as Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, or MBS, greeted him on a lavender carpet. Royal Saudi F-15 jets escorted his plane, and a ceremonial hall with marble columns hosted talks over Arabic coffee. The opulence continued with a lunch at the royal court, attended by U.S. business titans like Elon Musk of Tesla and Larry Fink of BlackRock, and a formal dinner hosted by MBS. Unlike his 2017 trip, which included Israel, Trump's itinerary notably skips this close ally, raising questions about shifting U.S. priorities. Instead, his focus is clear: economic deals, with Saudi Arabia as the linchpin. Why Saudi Arabia? Trump's visit aligns with his America First mantra, prioritizing massive investments over traditional security diplomacy. At the Saudi-U.S. Investment Forum in Riyadh, Saudi Investment Minister Khalid Al-Falih hailed the expanding U.S.-Saudi partnership, noting that joint ventures yield great things. Saudi Arabia, a strategic partner for decades due to oil and security ties, pledged $600 billion for U.S. investments, but Trump is pushing for $1 trillion, eyeing sectors like AI, energy, and arms. A $100 billion arms package is on the table, alongside deals for U.S. firms like Boeing and NVIDIA. The forum showcased CEOs from BlackRock, Citigroup, and OpenAI, signaling Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 push to diversify beyond oil with projects like NEOM, a futuristic city. However, falling oil prices and rising costs have forced Riyadh to scale back some ambitions, making U.S. capital critical. Trump's family business ties, including deals in Saudi Arabia and Qatar, add a personal stake, though the White House denies business influences policy. Despite the economic focus, Gaza's 19-month war and Iran's nuclear program loom large. Trump's decision to bypass Israel, where Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu faces pressure to end the Gaza conflict, has sparked doubts in Israel about its standing. Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, briefed the UN on a new Israeli aid plan, and the release of U.S.-Israeli hostage Eden Alexander by Hamas coincided with Trump's departure, hinting at diplomatic progress. Yet, Trump has cooled on Gaza ceasefire efforts, clashing with Netanyahu over strategy and his earlier, controversial Gaza Riviera displacement plan, which Saudi Arabia and others rejected. On Iran, U.S. negotiators met in Oman to curb Tehran's nuclear ambitions, with Trump threatening military action if talks fail. Saudi Arabia, wary of a nuclear-armed Iran, supports these talks but resists U.S. non-proliferation rules for its own civil nuclear program, seeking uranium enrichment rights. Trump's deal-driven approach has stirred debate. In Saudi Arabia, the lavish welcome, complete with Arabian horses and a video of soaring falcons, reflects MBS's eagerness to cement ties with a president he sees as a reliable partner, unlike Biden, who was snubbed in 2022. Posts on X praised the $600 billion pledge as a diplomatic win, though some question if Trump's business ties, like a Qatari jet gift, blur ethical lines. Critics, including Senator Chuck Schumer, demand transparency on such deals. In Israel, analysts like Michael Horowitz warn that delinking Saudi nuclear talks from Israel normalization, previously a Biden priority, could weaken Israel's regional leverage. Others, like Stephen Cook of the Council on Foreign Relations, argue Trump's transactional style avoids reshaping the region, focusing on immediate gains over long-term stability. Meanwhile, Iran's military chief vowed retaliation against any aggression, highlighting risks of escalating tensions. Trump's Saudi visit, blending economic ambition with geopolitical tightrope walking, underscores his pivot to Gulf wealth over traditional allies. By prioritizing deals, potentially $1 trillion from Saudi Arabia alone, he aims to bolster the U.S. economy while navigating Gaza's humanitarian crisis and Iran's nuclear threat. His possible detour to Turkey for Ukraine-Russia talks could further elevate his global stage. But sidelining Israel and cozying up to Gulf states with family business ties raises questions about U.S. priorities and regional stability. Will these deals deliver prosperity or sow new tensions? The Gulf tour, ending May 15, may set the tone for Trump's second term. Stay with Global Pulse for updates.
Can't lose with that one. I'll go with him. Thank you very much.